Hi, Mrs. Ryan.
Morning.
Who's on the show today?
Jay MANDYAM's gonna be here.
From the HUGHLEY Show.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, can't wait.
What are you doing?
Putting my shoes on.
Your Hunziker shoes?
Those are the ones.
Pretty cool. Nice king.
Thanks.
I like your socks.
Thank you.
See you out there.
Okie doke. Yay!
Is George Shapiro Carl's guy?
Yeah.
Is that why that came up?
He's his nephew jerk.
No. I never knew that. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I didn't know that either. That's hilarious.
It all is.
I'm going to make a note on your card right here. All right. Carl Reiner incest. Got it. Okay. Just kidding.
This is how rumors
Just kidding,
get
everybody.
started.
Just kidding. Welcome back. Welcome back at home. I did that already. Okay. Welcome back to the Old Late Night Play Set. Today is Wednesday, February 12th, 2020. My name is Jay Ryan. This is Nicole Ryan. We're the Ryans, and welcome back to the Old Late Night Play Set. Our guest tonight is a guy who shares a name with me. And he spells it differently in a handful of different ways. But Jay MANDYAM, because I thought until about a half an hour before the show, from the day I met you a year and a half ago or whatever till today, that it was Mandy Man. I like all your shit on Facebook. I'm just dyslexic is all. Anyway, Jay MANDYAM is here. He's been here before, but you weren't. Did you come on? You did come on camera. Or do you remember? You didn't, okay.
I don't
but
think
it was
so.
with a different comedy booking.
Kevin Rooney.
Kevin Rooney. Oh, God, the great Kevin Rooney. Yeah. Thank you, Richard Chasler, for that fantastic booking. It was lovely.
Yeah, I love
anyway,
that
so
guy.
Jay's here. We're going to talk to him more in a few minutes. And, oh, gosh, actually, I forgot. I think there he is right there. Yeah. Hi, Jay. He's got a camera on him. I forgot we did that. Guest cam.
So many changes.
I know. What are you going to do?
I love it.
All right. So welcome back. We're going to talk to him. It's going to be fun. Blah, blah, blah. Did you have the D.L. Hughley job when you were here last, or did you get that after?
It was after.
But soon after. I think so.
Probably. Yeah.
That's very cool. All right, we're going to talk all about that, too. He was in here, and he was like, oh, I like what you do. And then the next time I saw him, was like, he's on television he's a co-host on a show like this. It's very funny.
I do what you do.
Yeah, exactly. Mrs. Ryan, how are you feeling today? What's going on with you, other than an adorable, colorful outfit that we saw in the opening? So cute.
Thank you. I'm in a ton of pain, and my eyes don't feel like they connect, so if I look funny, sorry.
With each other, or with whatever you're trying to look at?
With whatever I'm trying to look at. Like, I'm looking at you, and one of them will just wander that way, and I'm like, I don't want to look at Woody Allen.
Oh, and you can see it, but it's not happening for me. Like,
Okay.
We're looking at you, it's not. You don't get all Marty Feldman on me.
I would rather that. If I can deal with it, whatever I see, that's as long as I don't look like I'm looking different directions.
Very dated reference, but I can't think of anyone famous now with a lazy eye. Who would be a more current reference than Marty Feldman? The lazy eye? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like trying to make that reference. There isn't one, right? I guess
know.
you would say a pug these days.
Get it fixed. I don't think anyone has one.
All right, so a couple things to do. There's East Coast feeds as usual, but we have to do a bit of business here, Mrs. Ryan, because we at one point recorded a commercial for our podcast, the podcast on Anchor. However, it was long, and it's time to do a new one.
Okay.
So it's the same thing again, but we're going to try to be a little bit quicker, a little more concise, since people have to listen to it every damn time.
Oh,
Know what I mean?
gotcha.
Anchor. All right. Here we go. Oh, gosh, that's it. Re-record this ad. Here we go. So let's not start it with me doing that again, because that's really annoying. You good?
Good.
I don't know what we're doing, but I think we just do this here, right?
Yes, I think so.
The goal of this ad is to encourage your audience to make their own podcast using Anchor, including your own experience and perspective. Tell them why you love Anchor. Okay. Oh, that was not... Okay, so the script. Here we go. Ready?
Ready.
Sorry. The details in script. I would love to say that all of this will be cut out, but it won't. You're going to have to sit through it. Press and record, Mrs. Ryan. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. Mrs. Ryan, tell me what that says.
I can't read.
It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You may make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Mrs. Ryan, the mandatory call to action is download this free Anchor app to go to... Oh, shit, I screwed that up. All right, well, whatever. We'll do that again tomorrow. God damn it. I'm not doing it again. Oh, gosh.
You're a mess.
I am. I know exactly what it is, too, but I can't tell everybody else. There's other stuff going on.
Okay.
There's other stuff going on behind
Just
the scenes.
put a pin in that, everyone, and we'll try to get it together.
I'm really excited for the guest, and what I need to do is push some buttons over here, play some feeds, and just get to that and stop talking. How's
Cool.
that? All right, Mrs. Ryan, pressing the East Coast feed button.
Great.
Roll it, Hal.
Mr. and Mrs. Ryan, look, it's Brooke and the Cows, man. And look where we are, Mr. Ryan. Come on, baby, you ready? Gonna make a quick turn. Turn for Jay. Mr. Ryan, you know where we are. We're in Manhattan, but where are we? Better question, right here.
My...
The Winter Garden. You see it? Brooke doesn't really care. Hey, babe, how you doing?
I'm just cold with
We're at the Winter Garden, which used to have what? Cats.
Oh, it's
and what
Beatles.
used to be
Yeah,
right
I'm
across the street,
thinking
Mr.
cats,
Ryan?
of course.
Mars, 2112. Not there anymore. I don't give a shit if I was a tourist. I'm not a fucking tourist. Anyway, look, the Stardust behind us, Mr. Ryan. We had saw Chris Rock there. Isn't it? We're back home again. Just want to give you some random love. We're going to see Beetlejuice before it leaves the Broadway Theater tonight. And that's all she wrote. Brooke really has to pee. Right, babe? Love you guys.
He continues to perpetuate an incorrect tale there. He loves to say that we saw Chris Rock at that diner in Stardust. I've never been inside that diner. I drove by it every single day when I used to drive to NBC, just because that's how I would come in.
That's the route.
56th Street, Broadway, 48th Street. That's what I used to do to get into the parking garage. But what he is thinking of is there used to be a restaurant, very short-lived restaurant, called TV City Television. It was called TV City, not Television City out here. And it was at the bottom of 30 Rock, and they had a little talk show set up, and it was all TV-based. It was basically like a themed restaurant for what's going on upstairs. And that is where we saw Chris Rock and a bunch of SNL people because, of course, they were right upstairs.
That's where the office is. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's you know where Hurley's is? It's right opposite Hurley's on the 30 Rock building.
All right. Everything leads to 30 Rock.
Yeah, kind of does. All right.
Remember that, Steve Kaz.
One more here. I think we're at BMW now. Roll it, Hal.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Ryan. East Coast Feed. Look, we're on BMW. Who knew? That's where we're at. Boom, there it is. So, hey, got a fun one today. We had a loaner car get returned. We're gonna say it's got returned. Let's just take a look here. Oh, here it is. Wait, what's this big tarp, you ask? Let's take a look around the car. Oh, wait a minute. That's not going to buff out. Hold on a second. Oh, nothing like return a loaner car after rolling it over. But the good news is, wait, maybe there's a good section. No, that panel's not savable. Let's take a look over here. Well, no. It's not going to buff out, boys and girls. It's not going to buff out. So, yeah. Brand new 2020 loaner. Couple of airbags. You know, whatever. Love you guys.
Holy shit.
Oh my goodness gracious.
That's a loaner? Holy cow.
Yeah, and he's got so many there. I mean, there's a huge BMW facility, so they've got a ton of them. I don't know. That sucks.
That looks yucky. Ew. Gross.
All right, I think we're gonna take another stab at the Anchor commercial when our guest's in here, and that'll be fun. In
That'll
the
be
meantime, Mrs. Ryan, I'm gonna ask the question that's on everyone's mind. What's going on, Mrs. Ryan? Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
I got distracted by my colorful shirt, and I can't speak. In outside of Nova Scotia, outside of Halifax, there's a bookstore called Otis and Clementine's, and there's little kittens there all the time. You can adopt them from there, but you can also just sit and read with a kitten on your lap.
I love that. I mean, I love cats, but that's adorable.
It's adorable, and they're doing such cool things to find new ways to bring attention to populations of animals that just want to talk to people. It's adorable. The picture, I'm going to put one up. So cute. I forgot how much I like having a cat on my lap when I read. Because the cat's always in there, and, like, I don't sit with her.
I know what you mean. Also, it was your cat, and she doesn't like you as much anymore. So, since I came into the picture, so I mean, I can understand where you would miss it. Did she used to sit with you?
Yes.
And
We
just
used to
doesn't
sit
anymore?
together all the time on the couch when I was single and I had my old apartment.
What changed, other than me arriving?
I started traveling more. I wasn't home as much. The other cat, and then you. Sorry, Meow Meow.
She's happy now, though, for the first time, so that's nice. Not for the first, but in the first time since I've known her.
She's happy again.
Much happier. How should I? Maybe I'll say that. That's better. I'm not trying to say I made her happy. She's just a happier animal now than she was when I met
You make all of
her.
us ladies happier. It is what it
Okay,
is.
all right, okay.
Life's
okay.
fine. I'm going to move on. Everyone's happier. I'm going to say this really quickly. I don't want to stick on it because I'm going to go into it more later. But there are studies being done that they found a weird connection and correlation, and everyone applies causational rules, and it's not. It's correlations. But people that are born with congenital blindness don't get schizophrenia. The study's been going on since the
This kind of makes sense to me. Isn't schizophrenia a loss of reality, or at least a loss of touch with a constant reality?
Yes, but they're
This makes sense to me,
yeah.
though, when someone they're using different senses to, you know what I mean? They don't have this reality as we know it.
Yeah. The study's been going on a long time. There's been across continents, London, Australia, and Rochester, where I'm from, randomly.
Crazy.
But so it's not a new study, like 500 million people. Like, it's not a new small study. But the comparisons are now like, if you go blind later in life, do you have the same propensity for schizophrenia not happening? And that is not true, because people find that different senses being taken away cause different hallucinations to happen.
Ooh.
So
Well, that makes sense, like a phantom pain if you lose a limb.
Yeah. So those correlations are all being looked into. It's super neat, and I talked more about what I want.
Can I just say one thing?
Yes.
Completely unrelated to that story, but also along the same lines. I read a thing today where, sorry, I'm talking into my mug.
Today.
There was a study about rats that it was a neurological study, and that's why the relevance. That if they tapped into an anesthetized rat, a rat that has been put under, if they tapped into the part of the brain that connects with consciousness, that rat zaps right awake.
I read that too.
Despite the drug.
Crazy.
I put it along the same type of thing. It's like, if you're going to go in there and deal with the coding and the software or whatever, you're going to get some weird reactions.
Yeah, I look at that too, and everything I read in different articles this morning was like this, and something I did a story about yesterday of like, life finds a way. Like, your body will figure out how to do what it needs to do. Like, I talk funny, but like not forever, unless I make myself talk funny and like reteach myself how to talk funny. Like, I know how to not talk funny, so I'll focus on that.
You mean you know what it's like somewhere inside,
Yeah,
so you're going to aim towards that. Sure.
As I decline,
So-
I can either like lean into like falling apart, or I know how to not talk like I'm falling apart.
Absolutely. So you train yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your life finds a way. Okay. I'm so glad that there was so much with Steve Katz, because this last one is for him. There is a Batman-themed restaurant opening in London. If anyone's going to go, it's going to be him. I don't see it happening soon for him, but I can't wait to see what he says. It's huge, 18,000 square feet underground.
Is it the Bat Cave? Is that what it is?
Yeah, sure. It's under an Art Deco. It's in an Art Deco building. Like, they went all out for this. The guy that did designed the O2 Theater, crafted this and designed this. It's super neat. It's all the DC comic people, and there's who's the Harley Quinn, the one that he likes. There's 3 bars and 5 restaurants in
Holy
this
smokes!
space.
So it's a whole event space. It's a whole go there for everything. It's not just a restaurant or whatever.
Different. It sounded like Disneyland. To
Yeah,
me,
it sounds like it to
a
me
theme
too.
park.
That's funny.
Enjoy.
In
Cass.
London, you said.
In London.
All right. Hey, and that's been
The longest news ever.
No, it wasn't. Whoa, what's going on, Mrs. Ryan? Dun, 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 dun. Even with all of that, we're still 5 minutes less than we normally are. It's 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So it's just enough time for me to record this again. You ready? Let's try it. Let's just try it real
Ready.
quick. All right. Yes, start over. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. Isn't that right, Mrs. Ryan?
Yes, sir. Sounds perfect.
That was great. There you go. 30 seconds on the mark. We did it. We did it.
Yay.
Submit. Yes, update my ad. Congratulations, everybody. You were here for a momentous occasion.
Oh, my.
All right, lady. I love you so much. All right. Let's get us back here. Let's take a quick break, right?
Yeah,
That's it? We
I
did
believe
We got it all
so.
done?
Yeah.
All right. Closed up the thing. We shut it down?
We
The-
shut
the
it
news?
down.
All right. Quick break. We're going to get to some sort of reins on this here. I'm very excited to see Richard Chasler, who's here. He's not able to make all of the Wednesday bookings these days because he's so busy, but I love it when he's here. The energy's better. Jay MANDYAM will be in here in the studio, in the set, in that chair right there when we get back. More to come after this. Good God. Good God.
Person to read it is Mandy.
Oh, so delicious. It's the hot sauce made by bears. Garlic and serrano mixed with love and care. You can put it on your eggs, pour it on your rice. It's great on a leg, it's better on a slice. It's oh, so delicious. It's the hot sauce made by bears. Oh, so delicious hot sauce. Great on everything except oatmeal.
Get your bottle today at ohsodelicious.org. $1 from every bottle sold goes to the National Military Family Association.
Oh, with that, we are back, Mrs. Ryan. What's missing? What's missing?
Our guest
Oh,
is
shit. I
missing.
knew there was something. Oh, my goodness. All right. Please do me a favor and welcome our guest who wanted to walk in today, the gay handyman. No, that's not right. Well, that's what it was in 3rd grade. Jay MANDYAM is here. Please come on in, Jay. I love that people want to do the walk. It was Steve Mazon did the walk in.
Well, I figured, it's a talk show. Like,
Yeah.
you get the little, in theory, if I had theme music from like a TV show I was on, it would be playing as I walked out.
What would you walk out to if there were a song that were clearable for YouTube?
I don't know. They ask me that at the comedy clubs all the time, and I can never think of an answer. I'm usually just like, what about Fuel by Metallica? Yeah, that's a good
That's
one.
your go-to? That's your just wing it choice?
Yeah.
I can't believe that's what you say.
How does that song go? I know like Enter Sandman.
Everyone knows Enter Sandman.
That's my point. I don't know anything about Metallica, but I know that one.
Oh, God. I couldn't even tell you the lyrics, but I just love the tune.
That's what I mean. How's it go?
It goes, give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Oh, okay. High energy. I'm
I'm
coming to bring it kind of a deal?
Yeah.
And then you walk out.
Yeah, and then, clearly they're probably expecting some sort of like metal comic, and then
I would.
yeah,
Fred Durst or something?
exactly. Then I come out. It's they're expecting Dice or Kinnison, and it's me.
Well, I don't want to create a new twist to your act, but that's not bad. If you did start doing something that looking like you, I can't imagine that's going to
Oh God, hickory dickory dock.
So welcome back, man. Thanks for coming
Hey,
back.
thanks for having me.
It
Good
was
to see
it was probably a year ago.
It was
that
a
we
while
figured
ago,
out,
yeah.
that Kevin was on the show. And was it true were you really an intern for him at the time? Or was that more of like just that's why he's here with me?
Oh, I think he was just kidding when he
Okay,
said
was like,
that.
here's my comedy intern. And he was like, okay.
No. I
Just
just
his buddy.
Oh yeah, I help him out. I drive him places. I'll like help him with some of his like just just like his general like life things I help him out with.
That's
That's
awesome.
all.
I heard he finally sold the vet, the one that was over at Leno's garage.
I think he did. We filled out paperwork for that and gave it to Leno. So I think he might have actually
I'm
sold
sorry, I
it.
should have sold it to Leno.
The car's just sitting there. They might happy. I might as well.
Well, welcome back to you. What's been going on? From when I saw you last, you got a job on the DL Hughley Show. It was awesome. We were actually enjoying watching it on the Apple TV.
Oh, you guys used to watch it?
And that
That's
went
great.
away. Yeah,
that's
no, it's
awesome.
true.
Thank you. Thank you so much for
And-
watching.
And then it went away.
Yeah.
Just recently. That was a bummer. So what's up?
Okay, well, I'm looking for a job right now. So if you are hiring comedy interns on Late Night Playset, I have experience.
The comedy department is growing, however, so maybe that may be necessary.
Talk to Richard
Lee.
No, so we did 125 episodes of the DL Hughley Show, and that was
Tell me about that a little bit. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I mean like go on for DL Hughley.
So I spent most of 2018 on the road with DL. We had written his Netflix special together, and then I was kind of on the road with him after that. Really, actually, we did the Netflix special. I thought I was never going to see him again, and then I took a job at the Laugh Factory as like an assistant to the owner, Jamie. Buddy. Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
So I was answering Jamie's phones all day, and then one night DL popped into the Laugh Factory, and he was like, "You work here?" I said, "Yeah," and like just the look of disgust on his face.
Oh.
And the next day, I got a call from a lady, and she's like, "Hey, I work on a Netflix show that DL Hughley's on. He said that we need to hire you on as a writer, otherwise he's going to walk off the show."
Holy smokes.
And so I had to like
High
walk into.
praise.
I was like, I had to walk into Jamie's office and be like, "Hey, I just got an offer to write on a TV show," and Jamie was very supportive. He's like, "Buddy, that's what we're here for, buddy. Go take it, buddy. Good luck." And
Was Jamie managing you too?
no,
Or
no, it was just purely like I was just in a tough situation. Jamie gave me a job to help
you
me out. Yeah,
That's really awesome.
and then so I was writing on that show.
Nice to hear a story on that on that checklist.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yes. So then did the Netflix show with DL. We did that. I think we did 12 episodes of that. It was called The Fix.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, it like came and went.
What kind of show?
It was a panel show and like a talk show, kind of like almost in the vein of Real Time, but a little bit more on global issues.
But
comedian.
you got political?
Yeah. It was moderated by a British comedian named Jimmy Carr.
Love Jimmy Carr.
And DL was a staple in the show for all episodes. So then after that,
Wait a second. I think we did see an episode or so of this. This was Jimmy in the middle,
Yeah.
and it was like panel on both sides. Oh, that was interesting. It reminded me more of Debate Team, Club, how it was set up.
Right.
Like more like a game show than a talk show.
yeah, and then at the end they both had to present an argument. The audience would vote on like which argument they like better.
Right. And that only went 12?
Yeah, we only did
I
12.
could get a pickup.
Well, I guess Netflix was struggling with talk at the time, and so they couldn't find a way to justify bringing it back.
They were struggling with talk for a time. I have an answer to all of their problems, but they haven't called me yet. And I don't mean this.
Right. So then, I was on the road with DL, and then after a while, like in the beginning of 2019, DL started like canceling my road dates with him, and I thought, oh geez, did I piss him off? Did I do something to make him mad? But it was just he just had a lot. Like he's very generous. He's such a generous guy. So if people need work, he's willing to give them work. So at one point, he had like 4 openers before him. And he already
like that who just always taking care of the staple.
Yeah.
He runs long as it is. Like he will do at least an hour and 15 on stage. Plus you have the 4 openers, so the shows are running long. Clubs are complaining, so I start getting dates canceled. And then out of the blue, I get a call one day and said, "Hey, DL's got a nightly talk show. I was told to bring you on as a writer producer." And then the more we kind of like got into it, I kind of became like sort of like the de facto head writer, but it feels weird to say I was the head writer because it was like a very much a collaborative process between the other consultants on the show and DL. And
you don't want to take that heat.
Well, I mean, like really, I was just the guy who would bust out a laptop and write down everyone's ideas.
Oh, he was organized.
That's all it was.
In comedy land, that goes so far.
It's true. I need that guy.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait to find him for us.
Okay, so
So it was a fun gig.
But you were on the air too.
Yeah, I would
mean, you
come
were
on
like
the
a
air.
co-host.
At the beginning. We were still like, it took us maybe like a couple of months to kind of figure out what we were doing, because we had some very strict regulations, because he had a radio show, and the original idea was to take the radio show and put it on TV like what they used to do with Howard Stern. But then apparently
Everybody thinks they can do that.
Well,
they did it with Imus for a bit. Too.
yeah, but here's the weird thing is, apparently the network didn't like it when I would like talk about Stern and be like, oh yeah, that's how they did it on Stern, and they would be like offended, like, no, we're doing something original here. Like,
Oh, I see. Right.
like, I mean, and I remember
Don't pop the creative's bubble, brother.
I remember in one of our early
This
meetings.
is new. It's important. Sculpting mashed potatoes.
In one of our early creative meetings, the executive producer was like, if you just want to get an idea of format, just look at old Howard Stern show clips. Like, and I am a huge Stern show fan. I'm a super fan.
We
I
all
listen
are.
every day.
Anybody doing a version of this is all doing that.
Right. So, I mean, like, I would just look at it for reference, and I would talk to Baba Booey when we were in pre-production, being like, okay, so when you guys were working on this, like, trying to translate that to TV, how did it work, that kind of stuff.
Was he good with you?
Baba Booey's great. Baba Booey
Generous
and
guy ever, right?
yeah, and then their other executive producer, Jeremy, he was like really helpful for me at the beginning.
What's it? Probably.
Works with Baba Booey.
Jeremy is like the he doesn't like to be named on air, behind the
Oh, I
scenes
see.
executive producer.
Then yes, I know exactly who you mean, and I love Gary. I love Baba Booey. He's
Yeah,
such a good dude.
he's awesome. He's
I didn't mean to make it about him, but there's a book behind you that he signed. That's such a nice thing to me because she surprised me. He's just,
is it
he's
a
been
copy
nothing
of They
but nice
Call
to
Me
us.
Baba Booey?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because like it'd be weird if you got him to sign a copy of Miss America or something.
Just my menu from whatever
Yeah.
wherever I was that night. So sorry. So
Yeah, we
he was very good with being generous.
yeah,
and
he
giving.
give me advice if I needed it. He would come through with troubleshooting. And then after a while, like we would kind of just rotate who was in the room, and then we had like an open door policy, and then it got a little too confusing. So then finally, my role was kind of relegated to, and these were DL's words exactly, you're going to be the Baba Booey of the show. And I was so happy with that, because it was like a lot, because DL drives the show, and a lot of times, I'm not the kind of person where I like to I try to fight to get my joke in, or try to fight to get my argument in. And so
Who
when
wants
there's
to listen to that?
yeah, there's like 5 people in the room, I don't want to be that guy, so it just looks like I don't say anything on screen. But when I'm in the Baba Booey mode, I can just come in the room, and because I've come in the room, DL knows I have something to say, and he will give me the floor, and I would just pop in, make my quick joke, get the fuck out.
That is so awesome.
And that's so much better, because it's no.
I didn't even know you could do. That's not even like a track you can take to go from young Benji to Baba Booey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those are two. That's
Yeah.
Right.
That's not a path.
Well, if you're what helps to get out of the Benji mode is you show up to work on time. That's
Oh yeah.
that's a big thing.
That's hysterical. I love that now we're turning it into a conversation all about Howard Stern
Right.
and the people from Howard Stern.
I could talk about Howard for I was actually you know what's
fan?
interesting is I was kind of up for a job at Howard before I got the DL job.
What kind?
Doing like a writer thing, like a Mamet type position, and then I was in Jeremy's office, and we're kind of like doing the sort of secondary interview, and it's been a slow interview process throughout this whole thing. It's taken over a year at this point for me to even like get in the room. And then Jeremy says, by the time we're ready to make you an offer, you're going to be producing a show for DL Hughley. And I said, that's not going to happen. And then
Wait a second. Literally called it like that?
yeah, that's exactly what he said.
Nice.
And then I had to call him a few months later and said, hey, so your prediction came true. I taking myself out of the running for this job at Stern and taking this job at the DL Hughley show.
Wow. All right. Well, now that that's over, have you called Jeremy?
First call I made after we got canceled.
I'm in play.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that would be pretty cool. Would you move to New York?
I would, for that, absolutely. Yeah.
That's a career. That's career job.
But it's just you don't know how much longer he's going to be on the air. So take that opportunity.
Pretty
while
sure
you
this
can.
next negotiation is it. He wants out. That's it.
Yeah.
He's been doing it forever.
He keeps threatening that this is it. That
That's
his
what I mean.
contract's up. Is it next year? This is.
He resigns every fucking
I think it's
time.
actually ended this year because Ronnie's out at the end of this year.
Yeah, but is he really leaving?
That's what he says.
I
We'll
heard
see.
that too.
Ronnie the limo driver
Ronnie
says he's
retiring.
moving to Vegas with Stephanie and retiring because
Where
in
is
theory
he? He's not in the shop there. You can see him. I can't see him. Oh, there he is.
Ronnie, the limo driver, is going to be moving into a veterinary clinic to run with Stephanie in Vegas. And so because Howard's contract is up in December and they're not sure if he's going to re-sign or not, Ronnie's like, I'm out. I'm leaving.
Wow.
So he's going to go
Wow.
kill people's animals in Vegas?
Yeah, whatever do.
Whatever do.
All right. Can we throw all of that shit away and just start like a fresh year?
What do you want to start? What do you want to talk
kind
about?
of kid were you that got you into comedy to the point where you're doing it at this level today?
I was not the class clown by any means. I was definitely a troublemaker. I was the kid who was always questioning authority, and I was in trouble. all-
Very fine. Such a. I mean, that is the same as the class clown. It's just there's a fork in the road.
I guess.
You're
Yeah.
a disruptor.
Yeah, exactly. And then as far as like being a comedian goes, my dad and I used to watch sitcoms a lot because I was born really late to my dad. He was an older guy, and so he wasn't very active. So
How old was your dad
my
when
dad
you were
was 50 when I was born.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right.
I was the
40.
accident.
My
I
dad
was the
40.
accident.
I thought that was old.
Yeah, no, my eldest brother is 17 years older than me, and my middle brother's 15 years older than me. So definitely the accident. So my dad wasn't active. He wasn't active. So he would come home from work. He would watch Jeopardy. He would eat a salad. He would eat his dinner, and he would just watch sitcoms. And like he loved trying to predict the next joke in a sitcom. And usually he would get it right, and he would have been like, "I should have been a scriptwriter."
He had the formula.
Yeah, he figured it out, and so I guess.
And he probably could have been a scriptwriter had he ever applied himself in that way.
Of course. So I guess I subconsciously like got it in my head that like sitcoms were important, and I needed to like kind of get my own sitcom or make a sitcom or something. And you know, at the time when I was growing up, it's Seinfeld, Mad About You, Home Improvement, Ellen, and I guess
All the biggest stand-ups.
it's like you have to be a stand-up comedian to be in control of your own sitcom. And so then I said, okay, I'm going to be a stand-up comedian so I can get my own sitcom one day.
Wow. All right. Well, you have done very well so far along that path. You seem to be a focused guy, I'm guessing.
I guess so.
Well, I mean, were you selling used cars in the middle there, somewhere between that and what I know you to be doing today?
Okay, well, I've had a lot of different jobs.
But to pay the bills.
I'm saying, like, to pay the bills, I've had a lot, like, you know, what.
But that's not taking your focus away, I'm
No,
guessing.
no. There was one point where, when I first moved out to Los Angeles, I got a job. I used to be a video editor, and I got a job offer at the company, but they wanted me to work the graveyard shift editing, and I was just so depressed over that because.
I'm in a dark room all day anyway, let alone overnight.
Yeah, so now I'm like, well, now I can't go hit mics. I can't do stand up. This is like the worst thing to ever happen to me. But I need a job. I need money. I gotta pay bills.
So you already wanted to be a stand-up while you were editing. You were already. working
I
for it.
started doing stand up when I was 18. I was a freshman in college.
Skip it all. Go back to that. Where'd you go up first?
I went to the Backdoor Comedy Club in Dallas, Texas.
Still in existence, isn't it?
It is. They just moved to a new location. My first time there was July 3rd, 2003.
Okay.
And I remember the date because I invited all my friends to come see me do stand-up for the first time. And they all said they were going to show up. And then none of them showed up because they wanted to go see fireworks for 4th of July.
Didn't they know about the bomb that was about to go off? How'd you do?
First time I did, the way I remember it, the first time I did well.
It's the worst.
And
then I remembered that. And then I went up again.
And then I think I probably started bombing shortly after that. But it was,
You have to, I guess.
yeah, but so like that was it was an interesting experience, like because also when I was a kid, my middle brother did stand up when he was in college, and so he knew a lot of he knew the owners of the club, he knew a lot of those people, and so the club owner was saying to me, you know, we remember your brother's act pretty well, so. If we see you doing one joke of his on there, we're going to give you the light and take you off stage. And I was like, I can never get out of this guy's shadow. Come on.
That's interesting. It's the same thing in grade school, right?
Yeah.
You do one fucking thing. I remember when your brother used to do
Yeah,
that. Okay.
exactly.
Wow.
So, but I did well, and I was, you know, at the beginning, I got pretty cocky pretty early on because I was doing really well. Like I think I got my first spot at the Improv in Dallas within 5 or 6 months of doing stand up. And so I've had to be humbled a few times in my career.
But what did cocky look like for you? You know what I mean? What did the kid who got up there in 5 months? That is pretty short for most people.
I wouldn't go to shitty bar open mics. I thought I was better than that. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't really. I would only work on material like at the like I'd go to the back door every week and I'd work on material there. And then I would expect to get spots at the Improv. And then after a while, like the manager of the Improv said, all these guys grind every night.
Yeah.
Why do you deserve a spot more than they do? And that was sort of like the first humbling.
You didn't have an answer.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. And I was like...
He's laughing in the other room.
And so then I started going to shitty bar open mics. And also I found, because of my sort of attitude, I wasn't as like ingrained in the community there, so I didn't really have a relationship with a lot of the guys doing the open mics and coming up at that time. And so I'm kind of glad that happened because then I was able to be in the comedy community there. And some of the guys that I came up with are all like working now, and it's like I still consider them really close friends, and it's great to see them like succeed.
Well, it's a good, healthy lesson to learn too.
Yeah.
I think, and then it probably happens to everybody.
Yeah,
along the path at some point, right?
I mean, if you read Kevin Hart's book, there's a couple chapters in there where he talks about how cocky he got and how he had to be humbled and stuff like that. So
Kevin Hart is humbled? That is awesome. Good to hear. I worked with him when he was not famous at all on a pilot.
Okay.
With him and Chris O'Dowd before he was famous, and Oliver Hudson before he was famous, except for his family lineage. And he was hungry and he was awesome, and I'm sure he still is awesome, but I can't imagine he's that hungry
which
anymore.
pilot was this? Was this in North Hollywood?
It was...
the Judd Apatow one?
No, it was called The Weekend. It was
Okay.
written by a guy named Ed Rowe. This was done at Paramount.
Gotcha.
In like 2005, 6, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's called The Weekend. Did I say that? It's
Yes.
called The Weekend, yeah.
Because
Didn't go.
all the cast
Didn't
the cast you mentioned are all like people and like, oh yeah, Judd uses them. Is this the Judd pilot?
Oh, yeah. Well, it was before Bridesmaids and all that stuff. It was before anybody was using Chris O'Dowd or Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
They were just people who were hungry out there grinding. I always tell Joe, it's kind of funny because they had Chris O'Dowd is sort of famous for the way he talks and the fact that he has an accent, and our producers didn't like it, or the studio didn't like it, or whatever. So they brought in a dialect coach to Americanize him in the whole
wow.
bit. And it was not only was he was so bad at trying to be American that they ended up dubbing it anyway.
Huh.
And then either way, it's still not Chris O'Dowd, who was funny as fuck when he was himself in the audition.
Right.
He wasn't
got choked.
famous,
Just
so
got
there was
choked.
no point to having him.
Yeah, I think it's how these things work.
Yeah,
It has nothing to do with the material. It's just like I don't want to work with that producer or that writer, so they just they'll
Right.
strangle it.
Oh yeah. We're in the thick of pilot season now, and it's a nightmare. Like there was that movie, The TV Set, about pilot
that was
season.
An Apatow.
That's an
Didn't he write
Apatow.
on that? That was one of his first.
I think
things?
it's like he
Duchovny?
David Duchovny kind of, from what I understand, David Duchovny basically plays Judd.
No shit. I don't know that I've ever actually seen it. I'm just aware that it exists.
Yeah, and it's about pilot season, and I've talked to like...
I didn't know anything about the show.
I think we even have it.
Yeah, I've talked to casting directors and showrunners and creators and stuff, and I was like, is pilot season actually like that for you guys? And they're like, oh God, it's so... My friend Greg Malin says that I can't watch that movie because it's so accurate, it just makes me sad.
That's never comfortable.
That's heavy. I used to get questions like when Swimming with Sharks came out before Kevin was whatever, and that was the question. But like no one understood
Because of
that,
who
like,
you used to work for. And how that all worked? Because you were an assistant?
I was probably looking back probably. But
Do you remember that, Swimming with Sharks?
Of course. I was just about to ask you about Equal and... Equal and... It's not Splenda. It wasn't Splenda back then.
No, it was
it's
Sweet and Low.
Sweet and Low, that's what it is.
They are
yeah.
not the same. Yeah.
they're
God.
not. They taste totally different. But I learned weird things from my boss, and like there's real pieces. So there's real pieces to that script because real things happen, and people that real things happen to.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't think there was anything fabricated for that. I'm sure every single thing that Buddy Ackerman did in that movie has been done to an assistant.
Yeah.
And you had a burrito thrown at your head.
Yes, I did. I threw it back, but it was thrown at me.
Kept her job by throwing it back. It's true. All right, back to you, brother. Sorry.
No, you're
Unless
fine.
you want to. Why don't you interview her? That'll be fun.
Hey, yeah, sure. Let's talk. Who was your old boss?
I'm not going to name his name. We're having
After that.
we're meeting up next week.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Okay.
But an industry
Are you?
person.
But you're going to a Mexican restaurant, right? Get
I
some
don't know.
burritos, right?
Yeah.
Going
We
Chipotle.
did go to a lot of
Roll it up.
Mexican. What's that place next to Jones on 3rd? It shares a bathroom. In West Hollywood. We just talked about it. We did go to. He knew Mexican restaurants well.
El Compadre?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
Oh, it was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's why.
No, El
El
Coyote.
Coyote
El
was.
Coyote.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Shit. Yeah. Well, one of those.
Wow.
Next
this
question.
This is the podcast where everything just fucking just nailed. Just
I'm not on
dive.
my game today.
No. It was me. It was me before too. I'm enjoying it. I'm glad you're here for it.
Hey,
Thanks for being
I'm
the
happy.
best thing going on.
I'm happy to be. I love being on the train wrecks. All
You're
right?
so you're unemployed, and that's how that goes. What's your next question, sir?
Wait, did you just?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
You
was
just
weird.
accused me of being unemployed, and then said, "What's your next question?" You're asking me.
Put you right on the.
I'm the asshole for calling out the obvious, but we were doing questions, and you don't have a job currently.
I don't have a job currently, except I guess in theory I'm a stand-up comedian full time now.
Right.
In the sense that I don't have another job.
Yeah,
Right.
but I don't know. I think of you as being in play. I really do. I think of it as being an
Yeah.
athlete who's a free agent, and like you're just the next thing is about to pop. I mean, you're on a good trajectory.
I feel that too. You're not going away.
How do you feel about it? Because it seemed like for a moment there, the unemployed thing struck a nerve.
No,
What I do best.
I'll tell you, like, it was nice to have a job. It was nice to have a place to go every morning. It was nice to, and it was a fun job. It was an easy job.
Yeah.
And I loved DL and like everybody that we worked with, all the consultants, all the like everyone from the hair and makeup people to the wardrobe to like just the assistants. Like we had a very small crew, probably about 20 people total. And so everybody knew each other, everybody hung out with each other, and it was just like a lot of fun.
Where'd you do it?
We did it in Burbank at Rick D's studio.
No.
Yeah.
The old Rick D radio studio?
Yeah.
No kidding.
No
Yeah.
way.
Oh, that's so funny.
And Rick D's would pop in every once in a while.
No.
And,
You know,
yeah.
in my day when we used to. Hey, how old are you? Do you mind if I ask?
I am 35.
Oh, so you probably don't remember when Rick D's had a talk show.
No.
Called Into the Night with Rick D.
Honestly,
Remember that, Chaz? Remember that? He fell off his chair laughing. Into the Night with Rick D's.
If it wasn't for the Howard Stern show.
No,
Did
you
you
didn't.
really?
He wrote on that show.
In town got a shot at something on that.
No way.
When Rick D's Into the Night came on, it was literally almost as bad as the Magic Johnson talk show.
Oh,
Hands down
and
the worst talk show. in
we had
history
Craig
of talk
Shoemaker, the sidekick from that show.
Oh, yeah.
The one-day sidekick.
Shoemaker was on that show. So they were fishing comedians out of like literally like the dirt pond to try to get trying to stock the freaking show with some funny,
Wow.
just no funny. And Rick, as nice a guy he is like really particular about like who he wanted to be surrounded by.
Right.
And then when they fired him, they went through a slew of comedians hosting for a week.
Oh,
They
like the
hired
Late
Mark
Late
Price.
Show. Wow.
And they hired Mark Price.
No shit, your buddy.
Mark
From-
from Skippy from Family Ties.
So Mark
That's what
Price-
he always says. I say nobody gets that reference anymore. I'm trying to break him of that habit. But apparently I'm wrong.
That's all he
I mean, look, I know he's leaned into that branding now, but no, if
Now?
I mean, I'm saying like in the last since
30 years.
since his comedy career has blossomed.
Blossom.
No, I know he wasn't on Blossom. He was on Family Ties. I understand. What's funny is like, you know, I say Skippy from Family Ties, and I almost wanted to say the catchphrase, but the catchphrase I was thinking wasn't his catchphrase. It was his nemesis's catchphrase. Nick, yes.
Was, hey,
Hey,
Mr.
Alex.
Keaton. Whoa. Mr. Keaton. All right. Hello, Nick. Wow. Thanks for going with us
Wow.
on that one.
Did
Do you know,
that
that's what we were all talking about. We were on the same page. You don't remember that show.
I remember the show.
He was Mallory's
He was
boyfriend,
Mallory's
right?
boyfriend.
But he was like a
He was
dolt.
like the boyfriend for her, and then like
The
they
little
tried to,
earring
yeah,
on
he had
the
the one
chain.
earring. He was an artist or a sculptor, and then they tried to spin him off, and the spin off didn't work.
They had a Nick show
Yes.
called Whoa with Nick.
You know, I don't know what it was called, but it was like I think Nick moved to New York to try and be an artist.
I
And
just remember leather jackets with the sleeves pushed
About
up and the
4
whole bit.
episodes might have aired.
I don't even think I think it was just a pilot. I don't think the pilot aired.
Oh, would have been terrible.
I think you can go on YouTube and find like that Nick pilot somewhere.
This is a riot. All right. Well, she's right. Let's figure out what's next for you. What do you want to do? Like in your perfect, you're manifesting and you're just dreaming of what the hell would I? Like the Howard Stern gig sounded pretty.
Oh
solid,
yeah,
but,
and if that happened, I would love to do it.
but, Mister, I want a sitcom someday because it's important to me and my dad and all that
Right.
stuff. How do we get there? Is that still something you want to do?
Oh, absolutely.
It is. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
I would-
So let's make that happen.
All right.
What would your sitcom be? It's about you because that's how those
right.
things have to work.
I would like to do. Since a lot of my act is, or a lot of what I do on stage is really just telling you stories about my family and my life. So I need to do something autobiographical.
This is perfect.
Do something like if not like a Seinfeldian type show, maybe like my version of Everybody Loves Raymond, just something about me and my parents, my relationship with my siblings, my relationship with the outside world.
Does it take place now? Does it take place when
Do
you're
it now.
younger?
Do it
Now? Your folks are
now.
still alive?
My father passed away about 2 years ago.
Sorry.
And my mom is alive right now. She lives with me for the moment.
Sure.
Because I realized she couldn't kind of be by herself after my dad passed away, so I moved her in with me. And
You're such a good guy, brother. I'm cutting you off the story because the Kevin Rooney thing as well, and I mean he's got his own health problems and everything. You're just a good guy. You're helping people out.
I don't know about all that. But,
You have a really big, nice heart.
I try, but I think my mom does not like it out here, so it looks like she's gonna try and move back to Dallas, and then I gotta figure out how we're gonna make that work.
Well, especially with you going to New York to work on Howard Stern. Oh wait, no, we're not doing that anymore. Now you're going to stay here for a pilot, and then we're going to get picked up. So
Have
the
you
show's
written it?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I've got a pilot that it was circulating for a little bit, and I would get called in on a lot of meetings, and every meeting I would go in on, it would be like, oh, we love this script, we love it, we love it, we love it. I'm like, all right, cool. You gonna buy it? You gonna make it? Hey, so let us know when you write something else. Like,
Hollywood.
yeah.
What would you be Like, are you going to be a stand-up comic? Like Jerry was actually a stand-up comic, but Ray Romano was, I don't know what the hell.
He was a sports writer.
What
I
would
think
you
I
be?
would like if it was like the script that we had written that we was circulating for a bit. My dad was a professor, and there was a period of my life where my dad was a professor and I worked at the same university that he worked at, like in his department, but for a different professor. So I was sort of like, that was the job, as I was a professor's assistant at the same university my dad taught at. So we would like interact
weird
at work
dynamic.
a lot. And so it was sort of like sometimes the home life would carry into the work life and then vice versa.
Yeah. It's a shame the best name is already taken, The Apprentice.
You fired.
Well, and is this what you're thinking? Like put it in that world where you guys would interact?
Yeah, like because there would be. It's like
I love this because I've not seen that before. We've done things in colleges, but not since like Different World really that we've seen that sort of.
So it'd be like when I was a professor's assistant, because I didn't have control over grades or anything. I wasn't teaching. In theory, I was like allowed to date the students. And so I never did, but
that'll be the running gag. I could, if I wanted to. I could.
So there's like that kind of stuff where it was like it's like, okay, if I'm dating a student and I bring her home to meet my parents, this is weird now because like, what if it's my dad's student? And there's that aspect of it. And then
who would? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, did I cut you off? I didn't want
No, go for it.
Who would play your dad in an ideal world? You have a sitcom and you can pick it.
The actor that I really would have liked to have played my dad passed away.
You're fucking batting 1,000.
So I remember my dad and I went to go see this film that Paul Reiser made called The Thing About My Folks, and Reiser was doing a Q&A afterwards, and Peter Falk played his dad, and Reiser said, he said, the reason I chose Peter Falk is I said to my dad, if I ever do a film about us, who would you want to play you? And he said, Peter Falk. And so then I turned to my dad and I said, if I ever did a show with you and I, who would you want to play you? And he said, this actor, Indian actor, he's a British actor named Om Puri, and he was in this movie that my dad and I really like called Bollywood Calling. He just crushes it. He's just like really funny in this movie, and he passed away maybe about like 3-4 years ago. So now there's two actors that I think because there's no actor that can do like my dad's sort of age range with the proper accent that work in America right now, in my opinion.
Okay.
So we'd have to like pull from the Bollywood scene. And the two actors I would want is either this actor named Kamal Hassan, or another actor named Amitabh Bachchan. And everyone used to say to my dad when I was growing up that my dad looked like Amitabh Bachchan.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
That's really cool.
That's super cool. Are these, now, not being familiar with either of those names,
Right.
Are they funny actors, or are they just really good actors who would fit the part well?
They do it all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They do dramatic stuff. They do funny stuff. But I think part of the beauty of, because my dad, though my dad was like funny with me, he's such a serious guy to everybody else.
Really?
So I think also part of the comedy comes from having like a dramatic actor just be stern.
Yeah, and some of the best comedies played straight. I go to Ghostbusters every time. That movie's so good because they're not joking.
Right. And then if you look at Naked Gun, like the reason it works is because Leslie Nielsen plays it like he's in a drama.
Yep.
Spencer Tracy in It's a Mad, 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 Mad,
That's
Mad
my
World.
all-time favorite, yeah. That's one of my all-time favorite comedies, maybe movies.
I mean, that movie is a big game changer in a lot of ways. Like even technically, because it was the first to be shot in CinemaScope.
It was the first one, that's right. That's amazing to me. We have whatever. That was one of my dad's. I'm going to back this up just for 2 seconds. Everything you said about you and your dad and the way you shared and all the things, I have that with my dad as well. And his stuff was talk shows and Jackie Gleason and all that stuff. So it's the same wheelhouse. I don't remember where the hell I was going with that, but it doesn't matter. I adore this whole thing with you. I think that you are going to have this sitcom, and I think that you need to spend more time thinking about it.
Okay.
I'm not kidding.
Right.
I don't know why I'm saying that because there's no reason to. I don't know you that well that I'd be like, oh, you've got so many irons in the works. One of them gonna. No, I've just got a weird feeling about it because these stories work out. Ours is working out right now. You know what I mean? Like this is a thing. My dad always wanted to see this.
Right.
You know my history a little bit, right? Like
Yeah.
I did this in my high school, and I was like
and then I know that you're gonna die not telling us how you got Letterman's desk.
I'll tell you. What do you want to know?
How'd you get it?
Oh, a museum had it, the chairs and the desk, and we were at the right place in the right time for the phone call when they were getting rid of it. It was never displayed. When the show was done with it in the 90s, they gave it to this museum in Queens, and they just stored it. They stored it all those years, and they never displayed it. So when it came time, we were starting this whole thing up, and we had this microphone story I was trying to tell, and it kind of, this is sort of why I'm telling you I think your thing's going to work out, because I decided I wanted to tell David Letterman a thing about this microphone, and then the desk and chairs came from, you know what I mean? Like it's weird how the universe works, especially when you do the work to manifest and build all of the...
It's interesting you say that because like, my dad and I remember we used to watch the Hughleys on TV every week. And I remember we got the DVD of Original Kings of Comedy. And this is, Bernie Mac's not famous yet. My dad knows Steve Harvey and Cedric from Steve Harvey Show. Hughleys has just come on the air. So, like, DL is, like, the one that we're really interested in because the sitcom he's new. He's new to us.
Right.
And I remember us thinking, like,
if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. I remember us thinking, like, oh, this guy's really, like, to us, he was the one who stood out the most from the four guys in Original Kings Comedy. And then right before my dad passed away, the plan was to move him he was sick, so the plan was to move him to Los Angeles so I could, be closer to him, take care of him. So I went back to Dallas to pack up his stuff, and the room I was staying in his house, the TV had a broken remote, and I was trying to channel surf. I got stuck on a channel that was doing a Hughleys marathon, and I couldn't change the channel. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I like this show. Yeah. I'll watch it. And then the next day, I went to a restaurant in Dallas, and I saw D.L. Hughley sitting down at the restaurant. And had I not been watching the show the night before, it would not have occurred to me to see him in Dallas, Texas, out of context. And that's how it all started. And if
you've got that mojo, brother, lean into it. Figure out what you're doing because it works. I'm serious. There's weird stuff going on. I'm telling you, go for it.
Yeah. But,
keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. Don't think about it too much.
Yeah, I'm trying. I don't think a lot.
I don't buy that at all.
Me either.
You're
so cerebral.
What do you have coming up? I know you're doing some Russell Peters.
Oh, yeah. If you're in Houston this weekend, tomorrow night, Thursday, I am headlining a place called The Secret Group in Houston.
Okay.
And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I am with Russell Peters at the Houston Improv. So
very cool.
That'll be fun. And
See, he's not unemployed. He's doing dates all over the place. What are you talking about? Crazy.
And then
I don't have use of my faculties today, and I will use that excuse until it doesn't work.
No, meaning the comedy thing is always there, but having the show is
I got
nice to
it.
have.
Sorry, dude. I got it.
hey, you know what? Maybe I could use like a publicist if you want to come out of retirement and spin some.
That's the one you want. Did you hear that? What she just did there?
Yeah, why not?
I'm good.
You are good.
She knew to throw that burrito back in the guy's face.
I
love that
literally
story.
thought about it, and I was like, it could go either way. But he threw a burrito.
But I'm going to leave with my self-respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
She threw the burrito back, and now he's taking her out for burritos next week. It's
Yeah. I'll remind him of that.
What else? How about social media? How do people find
social media. Instagram, God Hates J. It's just the letter J. God Hates J.
You son of a bitch.
And
Is that really what it is?
It is.
God hates J, just the letter J.
Yes, but I also here's the thing is I'm so stupid that I didn't realize it's so easy to change your Instagram handle.
Yeah.
And so I had like my original Instagram handle, which was my name, and then I was like, I think I want to get God Hates J. And so then I signed up for a brand new Instagram account under God Hates J, J-A-Y. And then I realized, oh, I could have just changed my handle. So I tried to cancel the account, but it still won't let me get that handle, even though that there's no.
Wow. This is crazy pants.
So there's
but
that.
I get it. I was only saying because my name is just the letter J.
Right.
And I'm so offended now.
So, yeah.
A whole website dedicated to the.
God Hates J on Instagram.
It's got your dates on it.
Yeah. Twitter is God Hates J, actual J-A-Y, but I'm locked out of Twitter, so that does me no good.
What, because you got blocked? You too, Chaz?
I used the word bullet in a punchline, just responding to somebody's post. And Twitter locked me out. I had to call my publicist, or a friend of mine who's a publicist, because technically your wife would be my publicist.
You asked me, I told you what to do.
I know.
It would have been fixed a long time ago.
I thought this would be quick. I wanted to hear both.
Go ahead.
No, I want to hear both.
We'll fix mine.
Okay, so you're kicked out for saying bullet, and what's your
Okay, so there's this guy named Dinesh D'Souza. He's like a real piece of shit.
Sorry.
He's a public figure. You could look him up. He was pardoned by Trump.
Oh, this is why you're
And we're
blocked.
back.
So I got on Twitter.
So what he got? This is a real thing.
Okay, so yeah, so I got on Twitter, I guess like a while ago, because this guy says like some really like, in my opinion, he makes Indian people look bad. And he says some really really inflammatory.
You have a legitimate beef.
Yeah, like so, like I this guy has no idea who I am, but I despise him. I know a lot of Indian people despise him. So I guess I got drunk or something one night on Twitter and just started trolling him, and then in 2018. This guy was, so this is like 2014 probably. 2018, the guy gets pardoned by Trump. And right after he gets pardoned by Trump, Twitter flags one of those tweets that I made and says, you have to delete it to get back into Twitter. And then right after this guy got pardoned, he got on Twitter, started using the hashtag burn the Jews. And I was like, well, why does this guy get to be on Twitter and use that hashtag, but I have to be locked out for talking shit about this guy? That doesn't seem right. So I refused to delete the tweet. And so
they deleted you.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm fine. I'm fine not being on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, I stand by your thing there. I don't know. It's up there with the comedians apologizing these days. It's like, if you didn't mean what they think you mean, don't apologize.
Yeah. I mean, like, that guy's a piece of shit, and
and you clearly mean it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, good for you. I'm sorry about your Twitter.
Yeah, whatever.
But you're on Instagram and all the other stuff,
Well,
right?
Instagram. I think my Instagram has more followers than my Twitter ever did.
Oh, there you go. This is the part of the show where I'm going to ask you what your final thoughts are. If there's anything you want to leave people with, peace on earth, or your favorite car, or the smelliest mic you ever worked with at a comedy show on the road. You know what I mean? Anything you want. Final thoughts.
Oh, you want to know my favorite car?
No, anything you want.
Well, my favorite car is a DeLorean DMC-12.
Why?
I'm obsessed with the movie Back to the Future.
Did you know anything about me and my connection with that stuff before?
No.
I've had a couple of them.
I know you like Porsches. I didn't know anything about your DeLorean love.
We'll talk. I don't have any
Okay.
DeLorean love, but at one point I had a pretty fine affection for the car. And John DeLorean's daughter, Catherine DeLorean, is one of my closest friends in the world.
I've heard it's a shitty car.
I wouldn't say that. I think they're fine. It is what it is. But I wouldn't want to own another one. That's for sure.
Like I remember. I was talking to, so I guess Spike Ferriston wanted to have Seth MacFarlane on his car show, and he wanted Seth to like bring his DeLorean on, and he was like, I hate the DeLorean, it never runs, always in the shop, too heavy, blah blah blah. And he's like,
the guy who built that,
and he was
Seth's
like,
car.
yeah, he was like, I want you to come on my show and say exactly that. So because people they romanticize this notion of the DeLorean because of the movie. Why don't you talk about how it's such an impractical car to have? And
yeah, it's not very practical.
Yeah,
The trunk's big, but it's all flat, like you could carry a bunch of pizzas.
I'm going to be in Houston this weekend, where the factory is, so maybe I can go test drive one.
They are, yeah. Totally. Let me know if you really want to do that. I'll make a phone call.
Actually,
set you up.
you know what? I'm gonna take you up on that.
Espy, yeah.
We're doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the right guy. Steve Wynn. Steve Wynn is the guy. James Espy used to run the company.
Okay, then yeah, I'm test driving a DeLorean this weekend when I'm in Houston.
Yeah, they'll set you up for sure. I'm sure.
Okay, beautiful.
Awesome. Is that it? Did we do it? It's been a
believe
weird day.
that's all.
Weird
It's-
day. Sorry, bro. Thanks for coming over.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Thanks for
Chesler,
being here
thank
for the
you.
weird day. It's weird.
Mrs. Ryan, who do we have tomorrow? Tomorrow's Paul Kramer. I'm
Yeah.
excited for that. All right.
Paul Kennel.
Paul Kennel from the Auto Kramers. Going to be here to talk
Can't
about.
wait.
They've got their open house for Lit Week, and they've got new merch coming out, and just all the fun stuff. He does tons of rallies and everything. I love you so very much,
I love you.
Jay. We love you so very much.
I love the
Jay,
Ryans.
the gay handyman. we never. Can we just tell everybody really quick where that came from? I didn't make that up.
Do we need to also do a commercial plug for the hot dogs?
It's late. I'll put it in.
You'll put it in?
Yeah.
All right.
It always goes in the break.
We'll fix it in post. Gay handyman. Okay, so when I was in college, I had a group of friends.
It was college. That's right.
Yeah. Back when MySpace was a thing, my friend Mark Blair made his MySpace Clark Flair because it rhymed with his name, and so then it was a group of us that were friends. So then we all just started doing like these MySpace pages with our rhyming names, and so my friend Adam Conway was Madam I'm on my way, and then I became Gay Handyman.
And there you have it. The rest is history. All right. We love everybody. Please love one another. We'll see you tomorrow with Paul Kramer and the Auto Kennels.